What is going on, Zingers? My name is Ryan McNamara, and I'd like to welcome you to Flight 54 on the Moon or Bust Rocketship, your thing for all things altcoins and DeFi. Today's mission will be co-piloted by DeFi developer Brian Moir. Unfortunately, Logan Ross will not be joining us today. He actually took a trip to the Himalayas to find the next 100x altcoin gem, so stay tuned for that. How are you doing today, Brian? Welcome to the stream.
Doing good.
Good. So let's get things started. First things first, guys. Smash that like button for us. We have Shiba Inu versus Floki Inu, a face-off. Stay tuned. We're going to go over the crypto markets. We're going to look at some NFTs. But I think we should get this show started. What do you think, Brian?
I think that sounds like a plan.
All right. Do you have TradingView pulled up? Let's go over the markets. Bitcoin's looking pretty damn good today. We're at $54,400. Things are looking bullish. Let's see what's up with Bitcoin.
I'm trying to pull it up. It was having trouble. There we go.
What a beautiful chart. What is this? The 1 week candlesticks. We set a new local high this week. Oh my God, my face is so big. Aaron, what are you doing? Okay, that's good. That looks good. So yeah, I mean, I think we're extremely bullish. I think Q4 is going to look absolutely amazing for Bitcoin. As you can see, we have this weekly candle that's over 10% in the green already, and we still have a few more days till close. Where do you think this is going to end up, Ryan?
I'm hoping above the 56. I'm pretty bullish right now. There's nothing showing that it's going to slow down. I think it's only going to go up from here. I'm pretty happy with all this.
Yeah, and if you guys don't tune into all the shows, we've been calling a lot of these prices to a T lately. We bought the dips. We said where we think it's going, where it's going now. And I mean, we are on track. I think we'll see new all-time highs this quarter. Things are looking great for us.
Yeah. I'm very bullish. Same with Ethereum, Bitcoin, and crypto in general. I'm very excited about it.
So, Brian, the question is, how long do you think it's going to take before we see a new all-time high?
I'm hoping before the end of this year. I think that's really doable. I think it's plausible, and I think it's going to happen fairly soon, actually.
Yeah, and last time we saw a run-up like this, we got so many green candles in a row. Green weekly candles at that. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weekly candles all in the green. So that's over a month, essentially just going straight up for Bitcoin. I'm wondering if we can see the same thing happen again now that we've got 2 huge green weekly candles and one that's about to close in a couple days.
Yeah, and our lowest point is just a smidge below 40,000. And I think that's good signs. We're sticking above 50,000. I think once we pass that 55, 56 mark, I think then we're going to see the rocket ship.
Are you able to put the bull market support band up on here? Do you have to be signed in? What's the deal, Brian? I'd like to see that if we can. I think it's called the bull market support band.
Obviously, I'm not in my office right
Oh, there we go. First
now.
one.
Difficult to find it. Well, we're going to sign with Spencer.
Oh, thank you, Spencer. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guy. We'll favor that for him.
Yeah, that's one that has to be favorited.
Oop.
So we've been trading off of this bull market support band quite a bit. Brian, if you can pull up the daily candles for this, I think it tells the story a little bit better. But this Bitcoin support band has been notorious for holding during bull markets. And once you hold above it, we're typically off to the races. So as you can see, earlier this year, we broke below it. Things were looking pretty bearish. But at the time, we said, we'll probably be trading between $30,000 to $40,000 for a few months, and hopefully we can reclaim the support band. And once we go back down, test it, then we're off to the races. So I think that is what happened here. I don't think we'll be testing again at this point. I mean, we're 25% above it at this point. Obviously, anything can happen, but I think that we're off to the races. We might see a correction, but I don't think we're going back down to the low $40,000 range again. But I mean, it could happen. It's unlikely, but I think it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Anything could happen. But I think that we're going to keep at least above 50K. We might see a dip back down to 52, 50,000. But like you said, I think we're off to the races now. I think we're going to see a new all-time high before 2022. That's my prediction. That's my moon or bust just prediction job. And, we've called it like it is so far. We haven't been wrong. So let's hope we can see that.
Brian, do you see this chat right now? The Floki army is going off. They're going to have to tell us if Floki Inu really is just a Shiba Inu knockoff or not. Let's see some Shiba Inu fans in the chat. I guess you guys are sleeping today.
There's a few Shibs.
Let's see. Who thinks Shiba's better than Floki? Who thinks Floki's better than Shiba? I want to see some fighting in the chat. Let's get down to business.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you want to do a little bit of technical analysis on Ethereum before maybe we move on to the general markets on CoinMarketCap?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's go with there we go. That's what I wanted. So we're seeing about the same thing, of course, with Bitcoin, and I think the dips and the highs are a little bit more rigid with Ethereum, but it's going to follow suit, and I think we're going to have the same principle. I think we're going to see at least over $44,000 to maybe even $5,000 at least before the end of this quarter. That's my prediction on that.
Well, do you think Ethereum is more volatile just because the market cap is lower? Because I think that institutional buyers that are buying up Bitcoin aren't moving. So then, therefore, the volatility of Bitcoin will go down as these institutions come in who are more sticky. They're not just able to liquidate their position whenever they want. You know, it's a multi-month process for them, not just a couple second process like a lot of the traders who trade Ethereum and altcoins.
Yeah, and I think what you said earlier, I think a lot of people are also institutional investors are in Bitcoin. They're not touching Ethereum. I think Ethereum is more for the retail people. It's more for, us, our viewers, everybody.
For
and
now.
Bitcoin's more that, institutional store of value as opposed to Ethereum.
I think institutions will come running for Ethereum, though. It's just a matter of time.
It just takes time for sure. It's just newer, and
Yeah.
everyone's all about Bitcoin, but they'll see Ethereum is better in my opinion.
Totally. And I agree with you, Brian. I think Ethereum is better than Bitcoin for most things. Obviously, Bitcoin's the best store of value as far as cryptocurrency goes, but Ethereum can do so much more. Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, he describes it as a general purpose blockchain. And I don't think there's a better description for it. I mean, developers can really just build whatever they want. It's up to their imagination, and it really does have limitless potential. I mean, you see Shiba is on Ethereum's network. You have shibaswap made. I mean, it's really up to developers' imaginations for what they can do with Ethereum.
Agreed. And I cannot wait to get into the Floki Shiba little conversation.
It's going to get down and dirty. Ooh. That is for sure.
That's going to be exciting. Well, you want to go through the Mekaverse, or do you want to go straight to the top?
Do you want to look at CoinMarketCap just for a second? We can look at what coins are popping off. Obviously, Shiba Inu has been going crazy this week. I have a feeling that a lot of people in the chat have made a lot of money over these past 7 days. Shiba Inu is up about 270%. And I have a hunch Floki Inu is up too this week.
Yeah, well, let's give it a look-see. There's mini Shiba, whatever that means.
Very interesting.
But I know
what is this sorted by right now, Brian?
This is the top trending.
Top trending. Can we go to top by market cap?
Yes.
I'm all about the market cap here.
There we go.
All right. So we went over Bitcoin. We went over Ethereum. Are you able to change that to 7-day percentage instead of 24 hours? Because I like to look at 7 days. I think that gives a better indicator of the current trends than just 24 hours.
I don't know.
I guess we'll look at 24 hours then. Let's go back to by market cap instead of by percentage gains. Unless you want to do percentage gains, we can do that.
No, we can do by market cap.
Cardano, still around $2.20. You know, there was a lot of hype with Cardano. If you like Cardano, let us know in the chat. If you guys have been around the show, you know I'm not the biggest fan of Cardano. It's the third largest cryptocurrency, and it doesn't really have too much to show. They had their Alonzo hard fork where they implemented smart contracts on their blockchain a couple weeks back, and it was very hyped up. But I still don't see a ecosystem around Cardano. I don't know why these platforms aren't live on the blockchain, but I think there are some problems with that hard fork as far as concurrent transaction goes. So make sure to do your own research. But I mean, Cardano at $2.27, it might be a buy, but I personally am not invested because I do not see that ecosystem being developed as I'd like to see.
So I actually do like Cardano, but I do agree. I think that once the ecosystem's a little bit more developed and has more users, I think it's gonna explode. I think we'll actually see some real movement on Cardano, and it'll be worth holding it because everyone's been holding it for so long with not much happening. but everyone knows what it's worth, like what the project actually can accomplish. So I think eventually it will. I mean, it's number 3 on the full market cap. It's over BNB. It just has a little bit ways to go, just another 400 billion until it hits Ethereum, but we'll see.
I think the play with Cardano isn't ADA itself, but actually the tokens in its ecosystem once it develops. So, I mean, you saw that with Ethereum, all the DeFi tokens that exploded last year as its ecosystem was developed. And then you saw it again with Solana. I mean, Solana pumped really hard about a month ago, and then you saw its ecosystem tokens explode too. So, I mean, that's how I'm going to play it. I'm not personally invested in Cardano, like I said, at the moment, but once that ecosystem comes out, I will be finding some solid projects on Cardano and probably throwing some crypto at those, because I think that's where we'll see the big gains. Cardano's already the 3rd largest cryptocurrency by market cap, so there's only so much more gains that you can get from it. I mean, at $72 billion, if it 10x's, you're getting close to $1 trillion market cap, which is absolutely insane. I think that you can find those 10 to 50x gains on ecosystem tokens if you pick solid projects once the ecosystem comes out, because at this point, Cardano really doesn't have a DeFi ecosystem.
It's true. A little fun fact about Bitcoin right now is I'm pretty sure their market cap has surpassed Facebook again now.
Really?
So that's I mean,
And you know why that is?
do I know why it surpassed it, or
Yeah, you know why?
It finally
It's because Ethereum has 100% runtime. It doesn't go down. Facebook goes down. The stock goes down and the website goes down. Ethereum,
the WhatsApp and the Instagram, everyone freaks, loses their mind. Gee,
what are you supposed to do without Instagram?
Die.
I don't know. And you put it on the blockchain. Put it on ETH, and the problem is solved. Let's see. Floki Inu official says Floki is greater than Cardano. Might be a little bit biased there, sir, because your name is Floki Inu official, but I will take your word for it. Floki is better than Cardano. You heard it here first.
Forget Cardano, come to Floki. I mean, they're all about it. SHIB, but we got one SHIB to the moon. This is going to be interesting.
This is going to be an interesting show, Brian.
Yep. We'll see if everyone loves us or hates us.
Any other cool tokens in the ecosystem right now? Anything you see on Coinmarketcap popping off?
Besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, just keeping on trucking.
What's Shiba doing? Let's look at Shiba real quick.
I just pulled it up too. Shiba. Okay, so one thing about Shiba is I held on to it until it surpassed that 10 right here instead of the 2, and that's when I sold. So I'm officially not in Shiba anymore, but I did, I had a good return on it, but it took a while for it to cross that 1 mark. But Coinbase, that really pushed over the edge, and it 100%ed even more than that, probably like 125% the moment it was on Coinbase. So there's a lot of movement in SHIB, and if Doge can do it, SHIB can do it. We'll have to see what baby
Coinbase effect is for you.
Yeah.
All right, should we hop over to NFTs just for a few minutes? I know you guys in the chat like making money. You're in Shiba, you're in Floki, making some bags. But how about making some bags from NFTs? We see people minting NFTs like yesterday with the Mekaverse NFT, one of the most hype drops we've seen in a very long time. Now, the mint price on these was 0.2 ETH, so right around $700. 1 day later, not even a day later, if you got this mint within 30 minutes, you could sell it for right around 6 Ethereum. So you're going from a $700 investment to about $20,000 in the matter of less than an hour. So that's absolutely insane. Tons of potential in NFTs right now. The question is, when does the bubble pop? Is this a bubble, and does it pop? It looks like a bubble.
Question.
I think solid projects will last, like the .com bubble. Solid projects will last. Some of them will go to zero. And I think this is an interesting project. They have a lot of partnerships. That it comes from some legit artists, and they have loads of followers on Twitter. They have about 150,000 followers on Twitter. Their Discord's actually completely full too, with 250,000 members in their Discord. So obviously there was a ton of hype surrounding this project. That's why people minted it for 0.2 ETH and were able to sell for about $20,000, about 6 ETH. So that's absolutely insane returns. I love to see this in the NFT space.
Yeah, I mean, and we're going to see a lot more projects like this too. And if you want more NFT news or anything, go to the roadmap show we have on Benzinga. That's kind of our little partner crypto show as well, and they dive deep into some of these. But this is pretty interesting. The Mekaverse is something new I just found out about today, and I'm pretty bullish on it as well. I think it's really, really neat.
Yeah, guys, if you want that NFT alpha, definitely check out the roadmap. It is the best live stream on YouTube for NFTs. They show you projects early. They get interviews with the top NFT projects. You don't want to miss that.
No,
You don't want to miss out on making money.
who would?
Exactly.
You
That's
know,
what I'm saying, Brian. That's
it.
exactly what I'm saying.
We're all gonna make it.
Wag me.
And it's all because of penguins, whales, secret society of whales, and crypto punks and JPEGs. What a time to be alive.
Welcome to the cryptoverse.
That's right. The Mekaverse, if you will.
The Mekaverse. Well, we don't want to keep you waiting, guys. I think we should get right into it. Let's talk Shiba Inu. Let's talk Floki Inu.
I'm out.
Let's find out what's better. Let's hear what you guys think in the chat. But let's hear it from us. We're gonna get John G, resident crypto advisor at Benzinga, on the show to talk with us. How are you doing, John G?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Thanks for having me.
There's gonna be some dirt in the chat.
Ooh, it's gonna get
salty. It's gonna get salty in the chat. We're gonna see what happens. Shiba Toshi says Cryptozillas are the next 20x. I have not seen that NFT, but might have to check it out if it's the next 20x.
Shiba Toshi. He knows.
Yes, that might be Satoshi. We don't know.
Great. Well, John, why don't you give us a little rundown of each one and what you think? Just a broad picture,
high level overview.
Before I do that, I'm gonna say you guys have a great show here. So if you guys haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe and hit that, turn that like button to the on position. Safety first here, guys. Great stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too much into this meme game in terms of like understanding the next thing. I heard about Floki, I don't know, maybe 3 days ago. And I'm not too familiar with Brian. Ryan and I were talking a little bit about it yesterday and today. So I'm still learning quite a bit about it. But I mean, this stuff is fascinating to me. I was a little bit perplexed by, the Dogecoin mania. Ryan and Logan, we talked about a little bit. I think probably Brian has definitely talked about it a little bit too. But I mean, at that time, to me, it was like, I get it. Okay, so it's a meme. Like, people love dogs. Like, it just took off. Like, why wouldn't you want to pay with the dog coin? It's more of a marketing game. Makes sense. Shiba Inu, like, it kind of caught me by surprise as well. I mean, what, 32,000% in a month? That's absolutely insane. But I don't know. I like to take a look back and just kind of understand the markets from just like what it actually is and like what's going on here. Like, for Shiba Inu, I get it. Like, it's kind of crazy that, yeah, it's a meme, but I'm sure a lot of people here kind of know how to use this technology. But if I take a step back and look at what this really is it's people learning how to use the future of finance, right? Like, all these things are smart contracts based on Ethereum blockchain. Like, it's all an educational experience. Like, I didn't even know what DeFi was. None of us kind of really knew what it was until obviously last summer. I had a vague understanding of it last summer and a lot more intimate understanding of it earlier this year, as it just kind of the market started coming back, and I've just been spending more time learning and researching crypto and just understanding what all this stuff is. But I don't know. I mean, I look at, especially there's a lot of influencers. I watch a lot of different like crypto influencers out there. I know Cryptos R Us is one of the guys that he was always hating on Shiba Inu. And people kept asking him, like, don't talk about it, it's just another meme scam coin. And he just recently flipped on it. And I don't know, I didn't get a full gathering of why he flipped on it. I'd have to maybe watch his episode again on it and hear more conversations from it. It'd be interesting to see how his perspective actually has changed. And then I was watching Meet Kevin recently, and watching what he was saying, to me, that's when I mean, I kind of been thinking about this for a while, but it just clicked. Like, he was like talking about, burning incentives and all these other different things. Like, all these token, like, we're all here going through an educational experience on this stuff, and maybe Shiba Inu will moon and then bust, who knows, and then we'll all just be bored with some other non-meme tokens. But why not have the future? Why not have the future of finance be a meme token? Like, there's no reason it can't be. It's fun. I think it gives a lot of kids. I mean, there's a lot of kids out there that are still just think about like the 10-year-olds out there that, it's crazy when you hear like a 12-year-old did this crazy thing that just like blew up online and made a lot of money off of it. I think this stuff is like fun, right? That's the whole point of this, the whole point of these meme tokens. So it gets kids excited, gets people interested in technology and learning how to operate on this stuff. So I'd be very interested to see where Floki's going in terms of in terms of that, like how is it going to push forward our educational experience and what DeFi is versus what Shiba Inu did? So I think that's kind of something that for me to be like invested in the long term to understand. Like I said, I haven't done too much research on it yet, so I'd be interested in hearing more about what you guys know, and maybe if people in the chat can say or share some things that we should be paying attention to, that would be I think a good thing to
Totally,
do.
yeah. We're going to take a complete deep dive into both Shiba Inu and Floki. So we're going to look at a technical analysis of both, decide which one we think is better from a technical perspective, and then we're going to look at the fundamental analysis, what these coins can be used for, and then give a final verdict. But before we get into it, be sure to subscribe, drop a like. Let's get that like number up. Let's get 1,000 likes, and then we'll start. Maybe a little bit less, but I'm shooting for the moon, just like Shiba Inu. Just like Floki Inu, 1,000 likes, and we'll get Shiba
Hey,
Inu
guys.
to $1. Maybe,
Mhm.
probably not. I'm not sure. I'm not
Also,
very good
check
at
out
math.
I hope so.
Benzinga Crypto channel that we have. We'll be pushing a lot more content on there as well, and we need some more subscribers over there. And
Totally. And let me reiterate on that. We're giving a giveaway to somebody who subscribes to Benzinga Crypto's YouTube channel, excuse me. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll be doing a giveaway within the next couple of weeks. We're going to give away either some crypto or an ENS domain name.
or an NFT. You never
Or an
know.
NFT. Yeah. It's open. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you want to get given away to you in the chat, and we'll make it happen.
So, what do you think about the how Floki has all this a metaverse and unlockable content with NFTs, which now every project has their own NFT, something revolved around that. But what do you think of that whole ecosystem that they're building there compared to what Shiba Inu has, where it's more just they were earlier to the game and they gained a lot of traction, but they just have the token, they do have the Shiba swap and a few other stuff. But what do you think about the differences between their two ecosystems? Either
Well,
of you.
Shiba Inu is definitely much more developed than Floki at this point. Floki's a newer cryptocurrency, so it's understandable. But I mean, with Shiba Swap, you can do a lot more. There is potential with Floki as it develops, but right now, I mean, there's not much utility with it. There's some questionable tokenomics for sure. So, I mean, I'm a little bit speculative on it, but we'll see what happens. I think Shiba Swap has a little bit better ecosystem. It was interesting to see, though, there was about $1.5 billion of Shiba Inu tokens and ERC20 tokens locked inside of Shiba Swap about a couple days after it launched, which is just crazy to see. I mean, that got bigger than some huge DeFi platforms out in the space that have been around for months on end. So that was really impressive. But I do have to say, I checked today and there's about $350 million locked now, which is surprising to me because I mean, Shiba Inu's gone up like 300%, right? So maybe like a week ago, it was only $100 million. So, I mean, the ecosystem's total value lock has gone down by about 90%. So I'm not exactly sure why. I think there might have been a Shiba Inu whale involved in that ecosystem that may have left, but I did not do my research to see why or who moved off all of this money from the exchange. But it's definitely on a downtrend right now as far as the total value locked on Shiba Swap, which actually I should note presents an opportunity. There's a lot higher interest rates now on Shiba Swap because there's less total value staked on the platform. So the rewards are getting distributed to less people. They only get distributed to those people that either provide liquidity or stake on Shiba Swap's platform. So it's getting distributed to a lot less people now, so your rewards are higher. So I mean that may be a good opportunity for people in Shiba Swap looking to earn interest.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the cool thing about Floki is I think that they are playing more towards the now situation. I think that they have a lot more going on with their NFT projects, their metaverse, and their whole play to earn and stuff like that, which I think is going to be the next biggest thing to blow up. It was, regular crypto, shit coins, and ICOs or IDOs rather, and then NFTs. And I think now with Axie Infinity just always rocketing and things going on in Solana, I think the play to earn is going to just take over the market. I think that's going to be the next big fiasco in crypto that we'll see.
Totally. And I want to get into the technical analysis of both of these coins. So, Brian, could you pull up TradingView one more time and we'll go over the candlesticks on Shiba Inu and then we'll go over the candlesticks on Floki Inu, compare them and see which one looks more bullish from a technical perspective.
Yeah. And do you want to add anything to, kind of the stuff that's going on with both of those? Like we said, what do you think about the play to earn metrics that Shiba has, John?
I have not seen too much of the metrics, but yeah, I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying. I mean, the future of all this is entertaining stuff, right? So
Yeah.
we all like to play games. I'd like I said, I'm not too familiar with what their actual games are, but yeah, I mean, I get it. I think that's definitely something to help push this forward and make it stay for the long term. And obviously, they're marketing games on point.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. It's interesting to see how the ecosystem evolves, if they could evolve as quick as Shiba Inu did.
They want to see the Floki BNB pair as well, but here's the Shiba Inu and USD on FTX.
Okay, I know we're getting really close to a new all-time high for Shiba Inu, so maybe we can zoom out, instead of the 15-minute candles, let's look at either the 1 day or 1 week candles so we can get a higher time frame analysis. What is this on FTX? Could you pull up Uniswap because they have the trading pair since day one? There we go. So you can see that absolutely insane run up that happened earlier this year when everyone was talking Shiba Inu. And, it went down and didn't really have much movement for a long time. And now we're seeing it just absolutely moon again. And the question now, I think, is can we break through this prior all-time high? I think we're seeing resistance right now, really close to where that all-time high was for Shiba Inu back in, I think it was May. So if we do break above that all-time high, we'll be in price discovery mode, and I think the sky is the limit. But we need to break that new all-time high before we can say we're off to the races. Right now, we're at resistance. I think the risk versus reward for buying Shiba right now may be too high for most people. It certainly is for me. But I mean, once it goes into price discovery mode, we could see huge gains. We already have seen huge gains this week. The question is it too late to buy Shiba Inu at this price? What do you guys think?
I think that it might be a little you want to wait for a kind of a pullback. I wouldn't buy right now. If you bought before it was on Coinbase, before it was hit the 1-0 mark and lost that other zero, that would have been key points. I think you might want to wait for a pullback.
Yeah, I made the purchase 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it was bad timing. No, it was well, actually, I don't know. I mean, the price changes so much. I don't keep up with it. But I think actually, let me take a quick look. I think I bought like whatever it is, like 15 million of them.
Too Lazy says
like
Shiba is
$500.
risky now. I agree with you. Too Lazy.
yeah.
I think it is pretty risky right now.
It's certainly risky. I'm about back to even right now. But yeah, I mean, I just bought it as a speculative play here in the short term, and it was. I mean, what was that time range that it started taking off? Was that like a week ago when it started taking off?
It was about a week ago. Yeah.
Right when it was on Coinbase.
Did it start? Wait, what? Right? What do you mean? Right when it was on Coinbase? When
So
it was on Coinbase?
it ran up that it went over about maybe almost close to 200% when it was listed on Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. Before that, I think the previous all-time high was around that 1-0 mark, and now we're kind of close to. Oh no, it went to 0.04 or to that 4 mark. So we're still about 100% under the all-time high.
Now, this chart may not be a fair comparison, Brian, against BNB. It won't look the same when you're comparing USD and Shiba. So maybe we can look at the USD Floki evaluations and then decide, what's a better investment right now, Floki or Shiba from a technical perspective.
So you want to pull up Floki? Is that what you said?
Floki USD, if you can find it, yeah.
I'm just going to go back to PooCoin because I can't find it on TradingView.
It's not on TradingView. Uh-oh. That means you're early, right?
There you
well,
go.
It's not listed anywhere, right? It's just on
Okay. You can look at the
Uniswap.
BNB. I'm pretty sure BNB has been relatively flat anyway, so I think the charts should look pretty similar to each other.
It has done some gains, but it's stayed pretty consistent, which is really surprising with everything that's going on in Binance and the whole world of Binance. They're getting shut out of everything, but BNB just keeps ripping. I mean, we're still at that 400 mark, but you're right, it's stayed pretty consistent, which is really
as of recently at the very least. Now, Floki is not an old coin by any means. It came out, when was it? Early September? I'm sure there's someone in the chat who knows. When did Floki Inu release? Let us know.
That's a good idea. Go ahead. Sorry.
But can you zoom out, Brian? Can we maybe look at 4-hour charts? Would be good. Maybe one day. I'm not sure exactly how old Floki is.
Yeah, I'm going to move over to Dex Tools because BlueCoin app isn't the best.
Okay.
That's the worst one.
I would assume that most of the volume
says Dex Hawk. There you go. And Crypto Fan. Thank you guys for that info. I was not sure. Regardless, pretty new cryptocurrency, and we'll see where it goes.
I'd be curious where the most of the volume is happening. Is it on the Binance Smart Chain?
You know, we could actually look at that for the fundamental part because it tells you how much Floki has been burned so far. And the platform, either Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain, that has more burned tokens would be the one that has more volume.
Just buy Floki in big old letters right at the top. There you go, Floki. There's your. You can airdrop us some tokens, and we'll have the banner up for however long you want it. But here's the Floki chart to the USD. I'm going to go to the 1 day. What is this telling you? What do you think?
Well, we've already seen new all-time highs pretty recently. It looks like this week, maybe 5 or 6 days ago. And once we got there, we shot up all the way to 8,000 billionths of a cent or whatever that is. But I mean, we've already made new all-time highs as of recent. So I think that is bullish. We saw a dip, but it wasn't sustained. You know, it was a V-shaped recovery. That's what I like to see. Kind of similar to what happened back in September. There was a run up to new all-time highs, a dip, and then that dip was short-lived, and then we saw a recovery with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row of huge green candlesticks to new all-time highs. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a pretty bullish chart? Do you think that we should be concerned buying in at all-time highs? Is it too risky?
No, I personally think this is a scenario where it's not too risky to buy Floki right now with all the hype and everything going on around it. We also didn't talk about with SHIB. We need to talk about Bone and their extra tokens that are involved in their ecosystem because that plays a big part in it. But I think Floki has a lot more chance because, like John said earlier, there's a lot of fun and there's these memes that are just running off and, all these meme tokens and stocks or anything. And I think that there's a good chance that we'll see it just keep rising, at least until the popularity dies down. But I don't see that happening.
From a risk reward standpoint, I mean, obviously both Shiba and Floki are super risky, so put only in what you're willing to lose because these easily could pop and fall. But it seems from a reward risk standpoint, Floki might be the better buy in terms of like its potential upside in the short term. That's what it kind of seems to me. But also it's really about how hard it is to get, right? Like I'm sure it's probably easier in the Binance Smart Chain, but I just haven't actually traded on the Binance Smart Chain. But I was having issues purchasing on Uniswap just due to slippage for Floki and just like stopped me from actually getting it. So I don't know if that problem is resolved or if it's easier on Binance Smart Chain, like maybe more people have it there. They're just getting in earlier and I don't know, we'll see. But I think it could be a better risk reward.
John, you bring up a really good point because Shiba Inu is listed on Coinbase now and it's listed on eToro. So you have a bunch of these retail investors who may not have a MetaMask or know how to use the DeFi ecosystem, and they're still able to buy Shiba Inu. And I think that's a big reason why Shiba is going up so much right now. It's just simply that investors have access to this asset, whereas Floki that's just not the case. And I'm not sure that will become the case because it is on both Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. It would be really hard to list, and they have some sus tokenomics that might not work on exchanges. So I don't think it will get listed on any big exchanges like Shiba has, but I mean, we'll see what happens. It's always possible.
I agree with that because I am very surprised that Shiba is on Coinbase. But I also think that could be a good thing too, because we're trying to get away from all this centralization, and eventually people are going to figure out how to use MetaMask if they want, or a wallet if they want to use a decentralized exchange. And I don't think it really matters as much anymore as it did like 3 or 4 months ago, where the main end goal was to get on Coinbase or Binance, or we're not even Binance because anyone can go on there, but get on Coinbase, and that's how you made it. Now you can have a multi-million dollar market cap token just straight on PancakeSwap or Uniswap. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'd be interested. There's some interesting like events that are probably gonna be unfolding here soon. Because I'd be really interested to know like how familiar the users of Robinhood are with some of these like actual DeFi tools and using MetaMask versus the users of Coinbase. I would imagine that the Coinbase users would have much more familiarity with using these tools. So when something like Shiba Inu actually gets listed on Robinhood, if that actually happens, and they start like allowing cryptocurrencies to be exported from their service, that's just like another way for like, oh, all of a sudden I can export. So now those users might actually start experimenting and learning some of these tools, and that could be a way to get people into more of like the DeFi ecosystem. And to the point on Floki, like maybe we'll have to see. I think if they can actually create like a catchy game. I haven't played like Axie Infinity, so I don't. I kind of get it, but I'm not too familiar with the gameplay. I'm not like a super big gamer, but I'd be curious if they can create some sort of like sticky type game and be able to maintain relevance. I could see somebody like Coinbase eventually listing it if it's actually something that is sticky and has a community. So that could be like, the asymmetric upside in terms of a potential opportunity if their community could actually like make that happen. So I don't know. I still think the risk reward for Floki is better than SHIB, but I think they're both high risk reward. Like they both.
Yeah,
Totally.
I'd agree with that too. And like you said, with the Coinbase thing, I mean, Shiba's on Coinbase, so there's no reason Floki couldn't be. I mean, just like you said, they have the community, all this other stuff. So, it wouldn't be crazy if it was listed.
Okay, well, it looks like we've reached consensus from a purely technical perspective. Floki looks more bullish than Shiba Inu right now. I don't know if there's any beef in the chat, but I mean, let's see it. Let's see it. Shiba, come out. Let us know what you think. Is Floki worth buying? Or are there people that are in both Floki and Shiba Inu? Is this just a one-sided game, or can you invest in both? It might be sacrilegious to buy both Shiba Inu and Floki Inu.
Heaven forbid you invest in more than one token.
You're either a Shiba maxi or a Floki
you're
maxi. You
Flokian.
simply can't be both.
No, get out of here with that. Go.
Okay, I think we should get right on to the fundamental analysis of these tokens, where they could go, what the utility is, and then give a final verdict. Brian, do you think you could maybe pull up shibaswap? We can go through some of the key features, what the use case is for the token, and then we can go over to Floki.
Yes.
That's fine as well. We can just create a video on the talk about the company.
That's crazy, guys. 880 live viewers right now. If you haven't already, please smash that like button. You don't see any other company giving you this type of content. So please go down there, hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and it will reach more people, okay? So this will show up on people's recommended. If you press the like button, spread the word about Shiba Inu, spread the word about Floki Inu. All you got to do is smash that like button.
Smash it. Heck, if we get, I don't know, 200 likes, we'll do a giveaway.
That's pretty low. I don't know about that.
300.
Let's get 300 likes and we will do a giveaway. Maybe another Shiba Inu hat,
yes.
Embroidered Shiba Inu hat. Those are dope. You can go check it out on benzinga.swag.com, I think it is. Just look up Benzinga swag. You'll be able to find it. Moon or Bust merch. We have embroidered Shiba Inu hats, embroidered Bitcoin and Ethereum hats, and some other dope merch like this. It says Decentralized everything. We got the one Brian's wearing as well.
And we'll how about this? We'll even create a Floki hat.
Ooh, yeah, that would
500
be cool.
likes. How about the boom?
500 likes, we will make a Floki Inu hat
and give it away.
Smash that like.
And you can buy one afterwards. We're already at 250 likes. So, heck, you guys are going to
All right.
Our money.
Clock is ticking. We don't have too much more time left, so let's get into the fundamental analysis. So ShibaSwap is a token on Ethereum. Right now, the total value locked on ShibaSwap is 375 million. Definitely a big number, but it was bigger in the past, like I mentioned earlier on the show. And there are quite a few functions right now. So NFTs aren't released yet, but those are coming. 10,000 unique Shiboshis. We'll see how that goes. I mean, NFTs are booming right now. I would not be surprised if those do really well with how active the Shiba Inu community is. There's also Dig. So Dig is basically like liquidity provision, very similar to Uniswap, where you can provide liquidity with your ERC20 tokens and earn rewards. So I don't think you can see the APR for that because it's dependent on the people trading on the platform. You get a portion of the fees distributed to you for the people trading. Very similar to Uniswap, like I said, very similar to SushiSwap. So that's one opportunity you have on the Shiba Swap ecosystem. There's also Berry, so you can stake your tokens. Brian, if you can click stake tokens, let's look at that APY. What can you make by staking your Shiba Swap tokens?
Can you see that?
Wow. Okay. So 437% all the way up to 4,000%. That's absolutely insane, guys. But I always say on the show, if you don't know where this interest is coming from, it's likely too good to be true. So make sure to do your own research, figure out where this interest rate is coming from, because if it's not coming from other users, it's probably coming from some type of issuance. And as tokens get issued out and they become circulating in the supply of Shiba Inu, supply and demand would state that Shiba Inu, the price would go down if demand stays the same. So make sure that this APR is from a legitimate place, because these are some very, very high APYs. So just be careful. I mean, it looks like a great opportunity if these APYs are legit, but I personally would not be staking over the long term. I mean, who knows where these APYs will go and where the price of Shiba Swap will go over the next year, over the next 5 years. You know, maybe it's a good opportunity for a few weeks, try and accumulate some more Shiba tokens. What do you guys think?
I do. I did want to mention, I just put in how to buy Floki and how to buy Shiba into the chat. 2 of our money articles. So you guys check those out if you don't already have either of the tokens. Now you know how to find it. But definitely check those articles out.
All right, so we covered Berry. Make sure to do some research on those interest rates. Figure out why you're staking this cryptocurrency and how you're securing the network through staking. But let's see, are there other features that ShibaSwap already has live?
Well, let's give it a gander. Let's go to the more info on NFTs. Ooh, Shiboshis. They're coming.
I don't think they're out yet, unfortunately.
Mm.
Also, please educate me in the chat. Does Floki have utility right now? Is there a program you can go on with Floki Inu and use the tokens for something productive? I know they're promising lots of big things in the future, but I could not find their application live earlier today when I was doing my research. Please let me know if that's not the case and Floki has some programs that we can look into like this, like ShibaSwap.
Here's their analytics dashboard. Oh, I guess
Yeah, let's check that out.
Okay, hold on 1 second. It didn't share it.
Someone tell us about CryptoCart.
Oh, yeah, what is CryptoCart? Boom, boom. We're in. We're on it. We're in there.
So first of all, the liquidity on the platform, that's the same as total value locked. Why don't we look at the total value locked over its lifespan instead of just over the week? Let's look at the trend. I mean, it looks like there's an uptrend right now, but you have to remember that that uptrend is mostly because the price of Shiba Inu has been going up, not because new users are entering the platform. If Shiba Inu doubles, then the liquidity locked also doubles in terms of USD. Of course, it stays the same in terms of Shiba Inu.
Agreed. Sorry.
Brian, can you check out the entire lifespan of the total value locked on Shiba Inu there? I think it's the 1 week view right now. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to see the fluctuations. It looks like we are on a little bit of an uptrend right now, but we did have that huge drop off that happened maybe a month after Shiba Swap came out. I would like to know what happened there. If there's any Shiba Inu holders in the chat that know what happened to all of that liquidity, that was about $1 billion. That's a huge amount of money. But I mean, aside from that, it looks relatively flat, a recent uptick, but like I said, that's probably due to the price. What are you guys thinking?
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of people in the chat are saying that those are whales that are making these moves. But since it's on Coinbase, you got to remember that Coinbase also takes a lot of it and holds a lot of it so you can buy and sell it. So that's going to throw off some of the metrics and some of the analytics for showing like where it's moving, what it's doing, or if it's going down. Because even if it sells on, Uniswap, it's not, the price won't be as affected as if it gets bought and sold on Coinbase. So it's kind of, who knows?
Totally. And Tyrell Ford is giving us a quick explanation of CryptoCart. CryptoCart is a digital marketplace where consumers can spend their cryptocurrencies on real world goods in an affordable way. Okay. I mean, that's kind of interesting. Dogecoin does that too. A lot of cryptocurrencies do that. It's really dependent on retailers to accept Floki. And honestly, it doesn't seem like a good token to use for payment. Why would anybody use Floki Inu to pay for goods when every time you transact, you're taxed 8%? Do you want to be taxed an extra 8% for every transaction you send and make purchases with? I mean, that doesn't really sound affordable to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Could this be used as a payment provider cryptocurrency?
I think it's too low. One thing that it has going for it, though, is it being so kind of far away from a dollar. It's easier to use as a payment, because one thing that people don't understand about using crypto as a payment source like Dogecoin or XLM or any of those is you don't really want to sell it to use it, because it has a store of value and it's going to go up. So you know how everyone's heard the story of the person who bought a pizza in Bitcoin a few years ago, and now that pizza's worth over $1 million, but it was only like 12 bucks then. So it's like, do you really want to do that and use it? And that's what I think scares people away from using crypto as payments, like to buy goods, groceries, pay bills, whatever, because you don't know what it's going to be. And heaven forbid you buy a Tesla for, it was like 1.8 Bitcoin about a couple months ago when they offered it. And, a year from now, when Bitcoin is, over $100,000, $200,000, you just bought a $50,000 car for 200 grand. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want to address this comment. Caesar says there's no tax on CryptoCart. So excuse me for that. If the company is on CryptoCart, it looks like there's no reflection fees. However, reflection fees are still a big problem, and I think we're going to get into that relatively soon here. We only have 5 minutes before we wrap up the show, so we should probably get going onto Floki Inu's website, do some fundamental analysis, and talk about the tokenomics.
you got it.
Yeah, in regards to the payment, like it makes you're gonna buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, you may as well just hold the Bitcoin, take a loan out on BlockFi, buy the because there's some people that obviously are super heavy into these cryptocurrencies. So maybe you've made so many gains that you want to make the sale or make a purchase of some sort, but you may as well just take the loan on one of these centralized services and not pay the capital gains and pay off the loan over time.
That's a good point. And this is a good point too, that taxes exist. Oh, they don't really necessarily exist for only swaps, but that is one of the reasons that they have those. And most of the time, a developer can set it to where the tax, you're not taxed if you're sending it to a wallet to wallet, but if you're buying it from an exchange, then there will be the tax when you're buying and selling. But that's not always the case. Sometimes they do get taxed just by transferring it out. It all depends. You gotta really read the contract to figure that out. But I did bring up.
I have one more note on this comment, though. So companies won't be holding Floki Inu. I mean, that's just a given. It's far too risky for companies to be holding Floki Inu instead of USD when they're making sales. So they will have to eventually swap from Floki into either USD or Bitcoin or a stable coin. So will they be taxed? It sounds like if they're swapping, they will be taxed. And will a company put up with an 8% tax just for swapping their cryptocurrency? I don't think that would be the case when there's alternatives like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Stellar Lumens that don't have this reflection tax, and they could easily use that instead.
Yeah.
I do think one thing that could potentially become interesting that rolls out over the next several years is if you're so like how the Bitcoin wallets work in El Salvador. You as a merchant, there's absolutely, like I hear people say, oh, like what if you don't want Bitcoin? Well, the way they have it set up is you can take that Bitcoin and instantly transfer for dollars. So in the future, like you could easily accept tokens like this and just have like swap contracts built right into it. So any company could accept Ethereum essentially for the purchase, for the sending of any of these tokens. And at the end of the day, these tokens are just like a marketing thing. Like, oh, you can buy, whatever product with Floki, and we're going to give you.
I wish I was paid to FUD Floki, honestly. If
Yeah,
anyone wants to
no
pay
one
me
would
to FUD
do-
a token, I will if it's enough money, but I
Yeah.
was not paid. I'm just looking out for you guys. I don't want you to fall for any sus cryptocurrencies out there. Make sure to do your own research because there are lots of scams out there, especially on Binance Smart Chain. So, a meme coin is one thing and a scam coin is another. So make sure to differentiate between the two and do your own research when investing.
Mhm. Don't just do something because we say one thing or the other. And if anyone's hiring to pay to FUD or do anything, just let us know. Well, we'd be happy to.
Yes.
Just
Could
kidding.
always use a little bonus.
Yeah.
Do not get paid much to do this show, but it's fun. We do it for the viewers. Make sure to subscribe. You'll get some deep information on DeFi ecosystems. It's a special episode on Shiba Inu and Floki Inu, but we cover recent crypto news every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and take deep dives into virtual reality, Decentralized games, Axie Infinity, honestly, you name it. And we have sweet interviews all the time. So you don't want to miss that. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this.
Yep. And I think that about wraps up what we have, unless you guys have anything.
I mean, we never really got to the fundamental analysis of Floki, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. The biggest red flag for me are those reflection fees. I know you guys saw it coming by now, but really, reflection fees do resemble a pyramid scheme in a very close way because the people with the most money in the ecosystem are getting the most amount of money from those reflection fees. And they're the ones who are able to sell that for a profit and hold their initial position and make daily rewards that are big enough to sell. Whereas small holders will continue to accumulate Floki Inu, hoping to grow their bag of Floki as those big whales push down the price by selling their daily rewards. That's just what happens. That's the nature of these reflective fees. It's definitely very sus to have this fee structure. So for me personally, it's a red flag. I don't invest in any reflective fee structure cryptocurrencies, especially ones that give 4% to the marketing team's wallet. That's a huge number. 4% of all of the transactions are going to Floki Inu's marketing wallet, so they can use that how they see fit. It's a multi-sig wallet, which is good. I mean, they're audited, which is also good. But like I said, I stay away from those reflection fees.
All right, thank you, sir.
What do you guys think? Am I wrong?
No, I totally agree. I think the one thing that brings a lot of these projects to success is their ingenious and crazy good marketing teams. I mean, these projects would be nothing without the marketing that they do, and both of them. I mean, there's no comparison. Both of them
Guys,
have just killed it.
this just in. This just in. No taxes on sex.
That was already
CEX, guys.
decided.
Not the S word. We don't use that on the show.
Uh-uh.
So yeah, I mean, if you're trying to get into it, I'd recommend a centralized exchange. That way you don't have to pay 8% when you purchase and 8% when you sell, because at the end of the day, that's 16% of your investment gone right off the bat, and then you still have to take on that risk. So I mean, that is a very big portion of the investment. So I do recommend using a centralized exchange if you decide to purchase Floki Inu.
And one last thing before we get off, make sure you do the poll that's in the that's on the chat. We need more people to do that, and trust me, once we get enough people, like I said, we've already made the likes. We'll do a giveaway on Twitter through whoever subbed today and subbed on the crypto channel. So just keep a heads up for that. We'll do one probably on Monday.
All right, I think that wraps it up, guys. Thank you for joining us. Sorry about all the FUD. As you know, I'm just looking out for you. Do your own research as I do mine every single damn day. Ryan is all FUD. I mean, say what you want. You're a Viking. You got to support the token you're in. At the end of the day, it's all about the community. And like we said, it's not all bad. The charts look bullish. You know, we said the charts look bullish. I think that is a fact. But at the same time, do your own research, look at these fundamentals, and make sure you know what you're investing in. With that, I think it wraps it up.
Good. How's the house? Are you guys
See y'all.
Peace out, guys.